Taurus, I'm here to give you a 2024 wild card read straight from the hip with lots of lip, where we're looking at what's coming in for you in the new year. We're going to see, will fortune's fate favor you, Taurus, in the new year? I don't know. Let's see what the cards have to say. This is for any strong Taurus placement in the chart: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or a significant placement in that second house, as well as Scorpio rising. All right, we're going to just get right into it. We're going to start out by getting a baseline, seeing how you're kind of entering 2024 by doing a little cutting of the deck action. I like to do it 3 times to get kind of a full baseline here. We got 10 of Pentacles. This looks really good. Okay, so it looks like right now you're sitting pretty. It took a while to get to this place, to have this sense of stability in your life financially. I feel like you're also building with another. Home looks like it's in a pretty good position here. I also feel like your home is very important to you. Your family is very important to you. There's also this piece that maybe you're feeling a little protective of this. You know, it took a long time to get to this place where you had this kind of stability and solidity, especially within the family unit. I'm feeling this very strongly. There's something here that you're really wanting to protect. It means a lot to you. And it says here, inner and outer work helps one keep their job, protects against disasters. So maybe there were some financial challenges. Maybe somebody had some challenges with work for a while that put a little bit of a financial strain on the relationship. There were some things to work through there, but it looks like, work's picking up. The finances are looking good. They're starting to shape up. That might have been a concern for a while. Maybe you were just really feeling a financial pinch because work had slowed down or somebody had lost a job. But I feel like you've been doing a lot of inner and outer work as well. You know, there's been a lot that's come up in this relationship. It feels like it's a relationship, like a relationship that's going to the other level. All right. You're living together. You're building together. Some of you are already married. Maybe you had a challenging time within your marriage, but you're getting to the other side of it. This looks really good. I think that it might have been touch and go for a while there. You thought you might, have to face the tower, but it feels like disaster averted and things are starting to really head in a positive direction. Things are feeling solidified, the sense of commitment is renewed. Yeah, look what we got here. We got the tower, okay? Tower disruption warns of disasters and aids in transformation. So this is interesting because look at the face on Uriel here. Uriel looks a little frustrated, sort of like, look, this is not part of the deal. It's almost like Uriel's looking a little frustrated here, like you were supposed to learn this, we were fine with making a new contract for you here, but you got to hold up your end of the bargain. And truth might have something to do with this, with the sword there, right? I feel like it's sort of like a cut it out kind of moment from the angels. There might be something that you're engaging in right now where you're kind of like, I don't know, you're sort of like pushing your luck, okay? So this is kind of letting you know that, you're out of the woods right now, but there is something that you really need to stick to if you're going to hope to keep this thing, moving on the right track. Because it says aids in transformation. There might be some little warning coming in, just sort of like give you one last shaking to sort of remind you why you are needing to make some changes in your life. There's definitely a need for transformation in this situation if you hope to preserve the stability of the home, the stability of the relationship. 4:44 on the clock, okay? Angels on deck. This is some guidance coming in to be aware that, if you go back to what you were doing before, or you start taking things for granted, that it can be taken away. And I got sentience around that. So there's something to be mindful of here. I feel like you're just in this place of recovery and restabilizing yourself, but you might be tempted to push something you shouldn't, okay? This could have something to do with a message that comes in with the 8 of Wands, all right? And it says, makes one passionate toward God, all right? So You might get a message from somebody that comes in that makes you feel like something is fated, something is meant to be. You might even feel like you got to jump on this really fast. And this might be something that actually is coming in to really illuminate for you what could go awry if you don't maintain your focus. I got that, okay? And you're meant to act on this information. You're meant to act on this information very quickly. It's what's going to help prevent a disaster from happening. That's what I got. It feels like you've already been in a situation where you face some challenges, but for the time being, it's like disaster averted, but you're not completely out of the woods yet. And I feel like there's some information that's coming in here to close out the year that if you act quickly on it, you'll really be able to make the necessary moves to prevent a tower from falling. That's what I got. And it may have something to do with like looking at the fine print. I'm just thinking back to Uriel's face and the frustration on the face and sort of like, you know, you need to pay attention here. And the sword was out, so this has something to do with truth. And with that scroll there, it's making me think contracts. So this might be something around being alerted to something within a contract that you need to look at a little bit more closely before you sign on the dotted line. All right, just really make sure that if you're signing any contract or you're getting into any kind of legally binding agreement, that you're really going over the details. Maybe get a second pair of eyes on it as well, especially if this has been an emotional process. And so you might have kind of a skewed view or want to sweep certain things under the rug. It might be helpful to get some kind of, I get professional assistance with that, to sort of go over things with a fine-tooth comb, let you know of the pitfalls, okay? This could be connected with a house. I got this coming in here, okay? But there is going to be something moving forward very quickly here with the Eight of Wands. And I feel like once this information comes in and you take these actions that are outlined by the information that comes through these messages, you're going to be so relieved. You're going to, it's like if you weren't spiritual before, you're going to be like, hallelujah, okay? You might become a believer because you're going to feel like something was looking out for me there, okay? And let's get one more cut of the deck here, see what we got, and then we're going to just start shuffling. Ace of Wands, there we go. You know, taking some strong action. It's a powerful action. It's a fertile action, all right? Some of you, it may involve fertility, okay? Some of you may have been trying to conceive, and you're going to have a baby, and that's why this stability is even more important to you, okay? Yes, protects against despair, helps one be patient, it says here, okay? So again, I feel like there's some important news coming in that's going to align you with the appropriate action for you to take at this time. You might feel really antsy, especially because you've just kind of gotten things stabilized. And so you might be too quick to want to like sign on the dotted line or, you know, jump ahead with something. It's like, just wait a minute. There's a little piece of information coming in here that's actually really important. You know, and you need this information to help you take a big, bold action, I feel, that will lead to a powerful new beginning. I do feel like this is very immediate. This will be coming in soon. Ted just shook his head. Yes, Ace of Wands is a fall timing card. I mean, I feel like within days, you're going to get this information, okay? This message is going to come in. And it's what gets everything moving forward. And it might also make you glad that you sort of like held off. You might have gotten an intuitive hit, like, I don't know, I need a little bit more information here before I move ahead. You'll be glad that you did, okay? Either way, it looks like you're starting out the new year, averting some kind of tower, which is good, okay? And you're getting a new sense of stability. The family looks good. The home life looks good. The finances look good. But there's more details you need before you sign on to anything or get into any kind of like legally binding arrangement. I really got that. It could unravel all your hard work. And it seems like you have been working really hard, you know. Outwardly, you've been on your grind. You've really been hustling. If you've been suffering from some kind of financial setbacks, I feel like you've gotten really creative. You've been diversifying your portfolio. You know, you've been kind of like taking gigs that are sort of outside of the box for you. Some of you have even taken on kind of more of like the gig economy. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to be a jack of all trades or a Jill of all trades. You're kind of, you know, just really exploring different options, ways of generating income that maybe used to be something that was like sort of a hobby for you or a pastime, something you enjoyed, and then you realize, wait a minute, there's actually a service I can offer a connection with this. Maybe that was even suggested by a friend. You jumped on it, and then all of a sudden this thing is starting to take off. It's been really good for you. I feel like you've been busy, and that busyness is picked up, of course, naturally with the holidays, but I also feel like financially, with work, maybe you went through a lull, but I feel like now it's on the increase. And it just looks like you're heading into, the new year with a really stable footing. But it wasn't after a lot of shaking. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had to go through a lot to get here. And it was 11:11 on the clock when I said that. So I feel like now you're really moving into this place of alignment and new beginnings. It's a beautiful thing. There's somebody to build there with you. And this looks good. So I can understand why you'd want to preserve that and why it'd be so important for you. So let's see, what else is coming in for Taurus in 2024? Show Taurus what's coming in for them in 2024, Spirit. What's ahead for Taurus in 2024? Okay, we do have some crossing influences. There is something that's coming to an end here, okay? I do feel like you are closing one cycle. We had death come out here, all right? And it says here, endings and rebirth influences health and longevity. So I also feel like if you've been concerned about somebody who is ill, or maybe you've been having some health challenges yourself, there's about to be a renewal in this situation. I feel like in that case, it has something to do with getting the right treatment. I don't know why I'm getting this, but it might be nerve related. Okay. And when I think of nerves, I think of course, the nervous system. So this could be that you were dealing with some kind of cognitive issues. This could also be dealing with things like having phantom limbs, numbness, tingling in the extremities, or just some kind of strange, unexplainable symptoms I got. And you may have even gone through several rounds of going to different specialists, trying to figure out what's going on with you. And I feel like you're going to hit on a new approach. This might have something to do with roots, okay? I don't know why I'm getting this specifically, that roots would be very beneficial for you in terms of straightening out this situation. I just got ashwagandha. So you might want to look into ashwagandha root, all right? If you've been dealing with any kind of like nervous system issues or cognitive issues, anything that's affected the brain or your motor skills, anything along these lines, okay? You're getting numbness, tingling, and you just haven't felt quite right, and you haven't been able to touch on the appropriate protocol for that, look into ashwagandha. All right, it's just coming through really strongly, and I feel like this will give you a lot of strength and renewal. Ashwagandha means strong like horse. It's interesting that piece came in about potentially, wanting to conceive. If you have been having trouble trying to conceive, you might want to look at ashwagandha as well, especially for the masculine, okay? It can be very beneficial in that regard. For the feminine, ashwagandha with shatavari is a wonderful combination that just kind of makes the womb space really receptive and ready to conceive. Of course, talk to your doctor, talk to your healthcare practitioner, and make sure that that's a right fit for you. They are pretty safe across the board, though, and you just want to make sure there's no contraindications. And I'm sharing this with you as an Ayurvedic practitioner, so just passing that on. But I feel like where you thought that maybe a dream was up of kind of getting to the other side of this health challenge, or maybe conceiving, I feel like there's some kind of root therapy coming in here that could be very helpful for you, and it'll do a lot of repair work for any of the nervous system issues, nerve related issues that you're having. Okay, I get that very strongly, very strongly. You may have had this issue really kind of reach a peak and a frustration peak during Scorpio season. So I feel like this is something that's been coming up for you in the fall, but you're about to have a rebirth here. Okay. And then over here, we got 8 of Pentacles. So yes, provides knowledge, all right? I think this is something you can really work with here, and it will definitely rebuild the body, rebuild the mind. And maybe this was a concern for you with work too, and just like, how am I going to financially keep this up? You might have had concern about your finances in related to medical expenses, or maybe certain treatments that were needed, or time away from work to go through a recovery process. But I feel like this is really going to be established and rectified, and work looks like it's in a really good position. If you've been recently applying for work and have been hoping that something would come through, I see you getting the job, and it'll definitely provide further growth and financial stability. If you're dealing with health challenges and you've been concerned about time off that may be needed, I see that your work is totally going to work with you. You may even get an opportunity to do more remote work, work from home, and this will be very helpful for you, okay? So where you were concerned about some kind of loss, and it keeps coming up around finances, work, and how your health is impacted by this. And I don't feel that's just the health of your physical body, but naturally when we're stressed out about our finances, it can affect our mental health, right? It can create a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights. And I feel like all of this is in the process of getting stabilized for you. And if you've been hoping you'd get a job, I see it coming through. And I think that you get the job because you have a certain expertise in a very specific area that edged you out of the competition, okay? And it looks like it's going to be really good for you. And this is going to rejuvenate the finances. Crossing influence, 7 of Wands in reverse, okay? So this is really good because you're no longer going to feel like you have to like fend off the next thing. Maybe that's sort of been like a situation where it's been one thing coming at you after another, and you've really had to kind of like, get out there and be strong and continue to, put yourself out there. I feel like somebody dealt with some kind of loss and they felt really blocked on their path. And it feels like it's directly connected to their work, their finances, and their health. And there's just been a lot coming at you, all in the stability areas. That's what it really feels like, okay? And I feel like you really had to kind of stand up for yourself, and you had to like defend your turf in some cases. This says liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. So in terms of the invisible, again, I'm really getting that this is a health challenge that you've been dealing with. There's been something going on with your health. It's been a bit of a mystery to you. And it may have really drained you too. You just didn't have the energy. And maybe this even caused problems like in your relationship. Like they thought you were just being lazy, or, just weren't being your usual self. But it was like, no, I'm really not feeling well. Like I'm feeling really compromised here. I feel like you might have dealt with a situation like this where people were just thinking that you were just trying to kind of like get a free ride, but really you've been dealing with some real challenges here, okay? Something about free ride too, like maybe you had something going on where you couldn't drive for a while. You needed somebody to give you a ride. They gave you a lot of grief for it. I don't know why I'm getting this. But I feel like there's been a lot of outside opinions about your situation, and a lot of people kind of passing judgments on you and telling you what you were doing wrong, or it's all in your head. I'm getting this sort of like vibe around you, and you really had to kind of defend yourself. I see you in this place where you felt very like self-protective. I also feel like you were out there like, trying to hustle and get work going and get the finances going. And you felt like this is a really competitive environment right now because so many people are in this position. But again, I feel like you're edging out the competition in this regard. And you're just getting to the other side of a period of time where it really looked like a lot of foundational things were shook, but I feel like you're in a stabilization period in 2024. You're securing the bag. That looks really good, and your health is getting back on track. But there's something you need to look at. There's something about root medicine coming in very strongly for that, okay? Some of you might need to do like some root work cleansing. maybe that's why your health has been affected. This isn't for everybody, but it's coming in for somebody. So maybe you feel like somebody put roots on you. Okay. If so, you might want to go and specifically see a root worker for help with that. Ooh, and just as I said, I can't make that up. Just as I said that, the magician. Okay, that's definitely coming in for someone. Yep, spiritual wisdom and magic helps one gain wisdom and discover hidden secrets. So that's not for everybody, okay? But if you feel like, what's going on? Like all of a sudden, you know, I got like my money's tanking, my home life's unstable, physically I'm not feeling well, you know, kind of ask yourself, who have you been around that's had access to your hair, to your nails, okay? You know, who have I been around that I've been like breaking bread with, spending time with, who might know how to do this kind of work and put some roots on me? And if you got some suspicions, you know, you might want to heed those. But what I would say about that is if you're worried about it, you should go and see somebody who's really adept at root work to help lift that, okay? I almost get an impression like you might be too close to it. It wouldn't be good for you to do it yourself because it could get messy. In fact, let me just pull out a card on that, all right? I want to pull out a card on that. I also got, in terms of that, this coming in as a side note, that some of you work with herbs and you're very familiar with herbs and plant allies and things of this nature. And this might be a way that you're going to generate some new income. Maybe you are making tinctures, or you might even be making magical blends, you know. And you might be getting into this line of work. Maybe you're starting like an online botanica I just got, or an online apothecary. Maybe you're getting into herbalism, you're studying herbalism, but I feel like there's an alchemical spin on it if you're doing that, okay? But let me look into this real quick here on this root work angle. What does Taurus, it resonates with that message because it's not going to be for everybody. What does Taurus need to know about this root work? Any clues about who could have done it, or what it could be around, what the motive was, or any further information for Taurus in regard to the spirit? We always look at this stuff at Broad Coven. It's not for everybody, but it is for some, okay? And it doesn't have to be your bag. That's okay, but we're all inclusive here, right? Bottom of the deck energy, judgment, okay? Yeah. Distributes promotions and high offices, causes one to be liked, okay? So I see this is somebody who was probably competition, wanted to edge out the competition. Yep, and with the Six of Swords coming right behind this, they were hoping that they could move you out of the way. Look at that, off with your head, you know. This person, yes, with the Eight of Cups behind it, woo, and the Fool. Okay, this is somebody who absolutely was in competition with you for a certain spot, all right? They wanted to edge you out, and that's why they laid roots on you, okay? So think about like a certain position that you might have had other people going for, you know, that were in the mix, and these would have been people who would have been around you, okay? So it could be a workplace situation. They also wanted to slow you down with the Knight of Pentacles, all right? Very interesting. Very interesting. Let me just go ahead and do a shuffle here because that was all bottom of the deck energy after I shuffled. That's sort of the basis of the matter. Anything else you can tell me around this, Spirit? Any other clues for Taurus? Okay. We got the Three of Swords. Steals treasures from kings. Destroys the dignity of men. Causes love between friends and foes. So I feel like this is somebody that you would have trusted. This is somebody that you would have felt close to, obviously, if you were breaking bread with them. They definitely wanted to cause you some kind of stability loss, financial loss, with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So this could be something around work, a work situation. They wanted to edge you out, okay? So this is some competition, finances involved in this situation. They wanted to hit you in the pocketbook. That's where that's coming from. It's somebody that you know pretty well, though, okay? It's not somebody that's like a stranger, all right? Or somebody you have kind of like just, you know, passing interaction with. This is somebody that knows you well enough to know that you're in competition with each other in this situation. You're both trying to get the same opportunity, and you've broken bread with each other. I got that. Okay, this is somebody that you spent time with. You've definitely spent time with this person within the past 6 months. Okay, physically, you've been in their presence. All right, Seven of Pentacles. Yep, discernment. Okay. General prosperity, the deliverance of prisoners, bottom of the deck here with the angels. Okay, anything else, angels? That's all we got on that, okay? I do feel like if that's your story, you need to go see a root worker to lift that. Don't do it yourself. It'll be too messy if you do it. I got that, okay? You don't want to make a bigger mess of this, all right? So get somebody else to help you in this situation. We got Five of Wands, politics and ambition, wins judgments, and protects all those who seek the truth. Okay, so again, Five of Wands is very much a competition card. So even if that piece doesn't apply to you, doesn't resonate with you, because it's not going to for everybody, I do feel like you've been in a competitive situation. Some of you have been involved in some kind of legal battles, straightening something out. I do see a judgment in your favor. I see everything balancing out. The truth will be known. And, you know, yeah, there's been a lot of politics here. There's been a lot of factions. There's been a lot of competitiveness, and it's been all related to personal ambition. And I feel like this is all getting balanced out. And if you were waiting for a settlement, you were waiting for some money to come through, and you've been just kind of like sitting here, like trying to be patient, but also feeling like there's just been so many blockages and holdups. I feel like this is finally coming through. Judgment in your favor. You'll get what you want out of that. It'll be worth the wait, okay? And all of that is straightening out. Kind of the deck energy. Three of Wands. Yep, you got a lot of new stuff coming in for you, okay? I think that anybody that was trying to like block you in the past, and it could have even been blocking you from being able to see a way forward because they put so many obstacles in your path. Now, that doesn't just have to be with root work. This can also be just like people that were interfering in your life and were causing a lot of complications and issues or just unnecessary roadblocks, all right? But I feel like what you can't see now is that everything is being divinely orchestrated. It's all about divine timing, everything lining up at just the right time. You're definitely going to be moving forward, and you'll like the lay of the land where you're going, all right? Three of Wands is a really good card. Construction of the universe helps with great works and protection from adversaries. So you can rest assured you're in good hands, okay? You got your spirit team on your side, and they're leading you to a beautiful new beginning. You can't see it right now, though, okay? You can't see it right now, and you're not sure where this has been coming from, where all this stress has been coming from, this need to defend yourself, okay? But I'm telling you, this information is coming in. You're going to get word about this, all right? You're going to get word about this. What you couldn't see before with the moon, okay? And all that confusion you felt and uncertain, and especially in relation to like, is somebody doing something to me? Is somebody working against me? You know, you might have had that feeling, and at times you might have felt a little paranoid or like you were jumping the gun. But I think that you're going to get some messages come through that really like reveal what's been going on, okay? It helps you understand the situation. I also feel like it's going to help you know what you need to do in order to get to the other side of this. I feel like you're releasing yourself from this stress. It's like once you know who's been causing trouble, you're going to let that go, and you're not going to have to worry about it anymore, because I feel like Spirit's going to take over, and Spirit's going to like met out punishment where punishment is due. This is karmic balancing, okay? And I do see you coming through victorious, not having to always be at the ready to defend yourself. We have 2 victory wreaths here. So there's somebody standing by your side that you're coming into alignment with. And I feel like maybe this is why you've been dealing with some, it feels like maybe it's some envious energy. Maybe somebody didn't want to see you move on. This could have been in relation to an ex. But definitely, you know, with the 8 of Wands, you got some kind of messages, communication coming through. I feel like it's going to help out who's been working against you. Now, what we have here is the Page of Wands, which shows a message coming in. And it says confounds the wicked and slanders and saves from enemies. So again, this message that you're going to receive, it's going to change everything. And it may have been a King of Cups that you have to be aware of here. This could be somebody you were romantically involved with in the past. Maybe they don't want to see you coming into alignment with this person, and so they were kind of getting in the way. This could be a strong water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But I see in this case where there was any kind of loss, there's restitution here, all right? Whatever was wronged will be righted. And it says here, it finds the stolen objects and discovers the person responsible, okay? So if you feel like somebody like stole your opportunity, stole my man, you know, whatever it may be, if you feel like somebody, you know, edged you out in an unfair way, that they were playing a little dirty pool and working against you, you're being relieved of this, all right? Judgment in your favor. Everything's being balanced out. The truth will be revealed. And it looks like you're heading into a place of coming into alignment with what's right for you. What's been held back is going to be coming in. Looks really good, okay? So let's see. What else do we want to pull out here? Let's go ahead and get some super awesome future cards on the board for you. I can't make it up. Look, bottom of the deck. The letter, okay? So you do have a message coming in. It's coming in soon. I really feel this. It's coming in soon. You kind of like enter the new year with a bang. I feel like the first 2 months of the new year are going to be really rapid progress for you. Like, it's almost like you hit the ground running. I feel especially once it gets to the end of January, like you know exactly where you're going, what you're doing. Things are freeing up for you. There might be a need for you to hop on a plane or do some traveling somewhere. Okay, just got that come in. I think you'll be happy about that trip. All right, I feel like you'll be really happy about that trip. There's some kind of positive energy around that trip. It could be a reconnection with somebody that you haven't been in touch with for a while, and you're just really happy to be back in contact with this person and renewing the connection. Okay. All right, let's see what is coming in for Taurus. Tell us about Taurus's super awesome future in 2024. Spirit, tell us about Taurus's super awesome future in 2024. Yeah, I feel like it kind of like, it's interesting. I get this message that your new year is going to start off with a bang, but then it heads into a very like stable, like rooted phase. And this is going to give you a lot of comfort. Oh, and just as I said that, look at, we got the house coming up. So again, I feel like things might have been a little weird at home, you know, a little out of the ordinary. There might have been some arguments too. I feel like maybe this really peaked in the summer months. I'm getting like with those stars in the background, I'm almost picking up like fireworks, you know, which makes me think 4th of July. So I feel like maybe like July, August, you know, the tail end of summer might have been kind of challenging in your living situation. Things may have felt a little strange, a little off. It was kind of challenging at home. There might have been some arguments at home. I feel like this is turning around. Home is getting stabilized. You're manifesting a new beginning here. Some of you are doing a lot of like fixing up around the home. You may do home renovations or get a new home, okay? So this home is really featuring prominently for you in 2024. I also feel like where there were arguments at home, they're going to turn into fireworks of passion, okay? So I think you're going to feel good about this. And you may even see that really come to a head in terms of a new home around this summertime. Might be when you really decide to head in a different direction with home. I feel like you might do this because, you know where your heart lies and you know who you're loyal to. And so home is just really becoming more important to you. If you were somebody who sort of felt like, you always wanted to be out and about before because home just wasn't, it wasn't a comforting place to be, or you were avoiding home for a while because things just felt tense. I feel like this is all getting balanced out, and now you really find a sense of security at home. You're very loyal to your family, and whatever that family looks like, it's different for everybody. For some of you, you finally get out of a living situation where you had roommates that were just driving you freaking nuts. And you get a home of your own, and you feel finally like you're in the place where you can like entertain your friends at home, do your own thing. You can have the dogs over and you can hang out. For some of you, just being with you and your dog is like good enough for you. You're like, I'm just happy to have my own space, my own place, do my own thing. Okay. So for those of you single-minded out there, I feel like where you're looking to kind of like get out of your current living situation because things have been really tense. I got like, somebody who has a real busybody roommate. Maybe they're the landlord too. They're the leaseholder and they're always like nitpicking everything. This person's gone in your room and like gone through your shit when you weren't there. I think you're really like tired of dealing with this person. This person feels like they really like micromanage everything. You're done with that. And if you've been worried about this, I feel like this might have really come up for you in October. It's really been annoying you, grating on you. I feel like there's a new beginning here. You're going to get a new place, and don't worry about moving. Maybe you've been worried about how am I going to move my stuff. I feel like you got, some friends that are going to show up, move you out of that situation and get you to a much better place. Okay. What other super awesome stuff is coming in for Taurus in 2024? Whoop. Okay. I mean, oh, interesting. Interesting that I said that. Yeah. Interesting that I said that. Yeah. It's specifically around a living situation that hasn't worked out for you. I do see you leaving that behind. I'm picking that up very strongly around a situation where you have somebody who's been like crossing over your boundary lines. You're in a living situation where you're really not comfortable. There's been a lot of fighting. Somebody's been going through your stuff, going through your personal things, just really being out of line. I feel like you're really ready to live alone, be on your own. We got the cat lady here, but notice how the cat lady is like, she's all good, man. She's feeling cool. She's relaxing. She's lounging. She's not, she's not stressed at all. Just so happy to be able to do her own thing. Okay. And some of you, you were in a relationship with somebody. It was just like nonstop. It was a lot of fighting, a lot of just problems. You never felt relaxed. You always felt like as soon as things calmed down, something else would happen. There'd be another big blowout. And it could have been related to drinking with the blender here, okay? But I feel either way, where you've been in a living situation where it's been very argumentative and it's been hard to deal with, you're getting a home of your own, and where you had financial concerns about that, stresses about that, or were worried about work, or just even being able to afford a place, you're not going to need to worry about any of this. Your home looks really good. Finances look really good. And you're breaking up with anything that's sort of like tearing you down or making you feel like you always have to be walking on eggshells or in a defensive posturing, okay? Something's shifting here. And again, what may give you the upper hand is this message. You got some important message coming in. And there is this piece about, maybe traveling to see somebody or connecting with somebody. I mean, you might have to leave one situation in order to move toward another. I got that. Okay. So for some of you, you're reconnecting with someone, you go and you visit them where they live, and you're like, wow, I really like it here, and it starts to shift your whole mindset about things. Some of you may want to move to be closer to friends that, you know, you realize are like, these are my people, you know, and I've been too far from them for too long. Okay, so this can play out a lot of different ways for people. Let's just see if there's anything else here. It seems like home is just like so front and center for you, and this getting restabilized and really being happy in a very prosperous cycle. Let's see what else we got going on here. It does look like you're also ending cycle on some situations as well. I see this both in terms of, for some of you, it's a romantic relationship. Yeah, you know, you're done with this devil, just as I said that. You tried to renew it with this person over and over and over again. I think it's something that's hot. I think it's something spicy. I think it's something that turns you on. There was chemistry here, but you also know that every time you played with this fire, you did get burned, right? I feel like it's interesting with this energy here. I feel like you might go for one more round, and that's what finally does it for you, you know? That might be what you're getting the caution about here, okay? Because you did get that cautionary piece about like you've averted a tower for now, but you know, Uriel was looking at you like you got to hold up your end of the bargain. You might hear, you know, from this devil, and it might be tempting for you. It could be a Capricorn with that devil energy coming in, doesn't have to be, all right? We did have water sign energy show up on the board as well. There was also your energy with the Knight of Pentacles, but that could also be Virgo, and it could be another Taurus, or it could be Capricorn again, okay? So, you know, there's this piece here about, I feel like you're going to be tempted one more time by this devil, and you're going to feel in two minds about it with this 19 energy. I feel like there's going to be one part of you that's going to be really tempted to go for one more round, just one more round. And just as I say that, it's like there's the blockage coming in. Like, don't talk about it. Shh, I don't want anyone to know about that. You might be tempted to go for one more round, but this is what you're being warned about. If you do this, it could really bring a tower. So if you've just headed into this restabilization phase of your home, you know, and you're starting to rebuild and it's feeling real good, and you let this devil come around and tempt you, that could cause a breakup. It could cause everything that's starting to get stabilized at the opening of the year to fall apart again. So do be mindful of this, all right? You're being forewarned, okay? I have to tell you that with this devil card, with the flame here, again, this could be an old flame. This could be somebody that you still burn for, yearn for. They do it for you. You still think about this devil as much as you like to say you don't. You can't shake this person. But you know that this is something you should end cycle on. And with the flame here, it's like you may have built this up in your mind that this person has like some like very special role in your life, but with the flame energy, this is always like it's not all that. It's not all that. You've built this up in your mind to be a lot more than it actually is, and this is a sabotaging influence. So you do want to be aware of this. Okay, yeah, you know, this is one of those situations where it's time for change. You know, this could be somebody who played a unicorn role in the past for you. I see that here. You might have a lot of fond memories with this person. That's why it might be tempting for you when it comes back around. But with 23 here, this person causes a lot of disruption with that 5 energy. They destabilize things. And it's sort of like, it's better for you to remember the good times and kind of hold that fondness in your heart while you still can, before, you know, it really becomes something you'd rather forget. You know, it's sort of like, remember the good times, remember the magic. It was 44:33 on the clock when I said that. But it is something that's better left in the past, because I feel like if you get tempted in that direction, it's really going to destabilize everything that's finally getting rooted for you in terms of your finances and your living situation and your just genuine peace of mind in 2024. Again, you might need to be careful about this. I have to tell you, because we got the rider with the attack. So this is sort of coming in as a warning here. Again, there's this piece. You might hear from somebody. You want to reconnect with them. You might decide to reconnect with them. You go on this trip. It might be a little strange. It's a little out of the ordinary. But then again, you know, with the ostrich here, I have to say, I got to play devil's advocate for a minute. All right. Your head's not in the sand here. You're looking at things squarely. I think you've, you know, touched in with your inner compass to get in touch with your soul's direction. Maybe this person really feels like home to you. This might be something that comes in. You might get this opportunity or get wind of this right around the new moon in Capricorn on January 11th. Okay, just for that Capricorn piece to come in. You might hear from an old flame around that time, okay? And maybe this person does feel like home to you. Maybe it's been a little weird, you know, leading up to this. And you might be a little concerned here with the attack, okay? There might be a woman in connection with this that is ready to be on the attack, all right? If you head in this direction. But there's some kind of happiness here for you. Look at this, happiness coming in with the sun. All right. So you might decide to take this gamble and you might roll with it. All right. There's something here that you need to be aware of, though. There's a little bit wild card energy. I feel like you can't have one without the other. And that's what's coming in very strongly around this opportunity. It's like you can go in this direction, but you do need to understand that heading in this direction absolutely disrupts some kind of stability that you've created for yourself, all right? Around home, around family, all right? Around getting your finances recovered. There will be a shakeup here. And around the financial piece, it's really interesting. This person, when you connect with them, they might be like, hey, you know, I got the money you need. All right, I got the money you need. Don't worry about it. I got you. All right, look at, but you want to be aware of being left like a sitting pigeon here. And I have to say that because right behind that is the rats. All right, and this is somebody who would have no problem ghosting you after getting what they want out of the deal. And this is a situation that you have dealt with before with the zombies here. This person's taken advantage of you before. They will do it again. And it's up to you if you want to let this person feed off your brain. But it looks like you have some real relationship here. And there's an opportunity for stability and growth and financial security and family, all right? And it is aligned with your heart. And it's a beautiful thing. But you could disrupt it for some temptation, all right, with the snake energy here. And there's a lot of suspicion around this particular opportunity coming in. I think it'll be very tempting, but I feel like what tempts you about it is some promise, you know, of some fast cash or some big instant come up. And you might be really ready to take a risk. I mean, look, there's your energy right there, Bull. But we already know in and of yourself, like, your fortunes are on the rise. There's a lot you're building here. But if you allow yourself to succumb to temptation, boom, look at this. Tower energy, everything that you worked for comes to naught. And then all of a sudden you're uprooted here, all right? And somebody's got you in a really compromising position. And it could be this very person who was egging you on, all right? So you're going to have to choose, because I'm picking up this wild card energy with you, Taurus. It's really all about you and the experience that you want to have. We do see that there was that cat lady card about being on your own and kind of being like, I'm cool with it. Okay. So it could be that for some of you, you got yourself into a situation where it's like, okay, we dealt with some challenges. It was rocky there for a while. There was financial setbacks. The home wasn't feeling good. We were fighting. And you're kind of like now, you know, heading into a period where things feel more stable there. Things have calmed down, you know. Maybe the finances started to free up. It's feeling good. But then in comes this news, you know, and this opportunity to head towards somebody that you feel like a lot of passion with, and this could be an old flame, and it's sort of like you got to choose. You know, you can't have both. You're going to have to make a choice between one or the other. And some of you may decide to head in this direction. You may decide to throw caution to the wind. I see you taking a trip, and it feels out there. And for a lot of you, you're going to choose to go your own way. And it's going to be sort of like, I'm going to just throw caution to the wind. And yeah, I may lose all this stability, but it's sort of like, I want to get the ticket. I want to go for the ride. I want to have an adventure. And I may feel like a stranger in a strange land, but at least I feel alive again. And I'm living life on my terms. I do feel like you got, I just got like 50-50 came up on the clock. So I feel like you're kind of in two minds about this, you know? I do feel like it's a source of stress for you here. And I have to say, it all relates to this message. Wow. It all relates to this message. All right. This message comes in, and it comes in with illness and broken mirror. All right. So I think that you know that this situation, like, time and time again, it's been a bad luck situation for you, and yet you feel really connected to this person with the moon. Moon cycles factoring in very strongly here. This person feels like kindred to you, and you feel like they're part of your future. There might be a little divine play in here. You might decide to throw caution to the wind and shoot your shot regardless. There's somebody you've been you want to transform things with. You've been separated from them for a long time. You've had to bridge the gap. You probably had to do a deep dive in your emotions, do a lot of healing. But I feel like the next full moon coming up on the 26th, the day after Christmas, is really just going to like highlight for you where you need to put your focus. And it's interesting because there's some change happening here. I do see you opening up a new door of opportunity. All right. You're opening up a new door of opportunity here, but it's sort of like you're making a compromising agreement with one person. All right. But it's because your spirit's leading you in a different direction. So it's going to get interesting for you. All right. I think that full moon's going to illuminate a new door of opportunity for you, and there's some message coming in. Either way, you know, we got the queen here, and there's something that's built to last, and there's love. So I feel like it's going to be an interesting experience getting to this place of union. All right. It's going to take a lot to get there. I feel with the vigor coming in, it's going to take some time, some energy, some determination. Also, there's this piece of education here. Maybe you need to kind of like school somebody about how you really feel in this situation, or they're going to tell you how they really feel. And that's kind of like a game changer. But there's this piece here about having to face fear, and it's not going to be the easiest road to travel, but maybe the road less traveled is exactly the road for you in 2024. I do see love comes out of it. I do see that you end up in a really good place, you know, financially, a really good home life, but there is this piece where you might have to leave the comfort of something really stable to go after this dream. I think you'll land on your feet in the end, but there's some disruption of stability initially. I'm going to pull out the Halloween card here, okay? We got Night Song, Cardinal Energy. You might even feel like a loved one that's passed on. I'm getting parental figure is sort of guiding you in this situation. So you feel kind of drawn in this direction. I feel like there's something that's sort of like, it's almost like egging your spirit on, all right? I also see hidden talents here, okay? So I feel like, again, there's something here about getting yourself in a position where you're very independent and you're able to move independently. I feel this around work very strongly, and it shifts something in the home, all right? And this could be that maybe you've been wanting to move out of a situation, but you just haven't been in the financial position to do so. Well, now you are. And it's because you're capitalizing on some, yeah, look at this. You might be doing something online. You're forming new connections online. This can expand your reach, expand your work, gives you some mobility as well. Okay? I feel like, you're doing something that's like, it's a talent that you've always had and you never thought of capitalizing off of it. But you do in 2024, and it gives you more ability to make your own choices about your living situation. I do feel that those of you who are in serious committed relationships, you might find yourselves like facing some kind of temptation, possibly from an old flame in 2024, but I feel like you got what it takes to get through it. But then again, some of you are going to throw caution to the wind. It's like a 50-50 with you, Tauruses, okay? Half of you are going to choose to really, defend what you built with another. You're not going to let it fall apart. And the other half of you are like, you know what? No, like I'm willing to burn this all up, everything I've built up till now, because it's not where my happiness really is. And yeah, I might face some criticism for heading in this direction, but I got to do what feels right to my heart and soul. I mean, and it really is 50-50. It is 50-50, but do expect that to come in 2024. Woo, an old flame coming around that's going to challenge the status quo. I mean, we got the Hearth in reverse, just came up on that shuffle there. These two flew out of the card, and Cauldron, synergy and healing. You may, for those of you, okay, that just have a tentative piece in a serious relationship right now, like maybe you recently went through some challenges and financially things have gotten stabilized now, and things are kind of back to being calm and stable at home and everything's quiet on the home front. It may just be like a little calmness before the storm. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like you may decide to disrupt this, and it may feel a little messy. I have to be honest with you, but I feel like this is not where your happiness lies. Right? It's a different situation. If your relationship was challenged and you're really invested in it, I would say be aware that this is a danger in 2024, that there could be something coming around that could really tempt you. You may be very tempted to go in that direction. You may throw caution to the wind. You may even know it's a dicey situation. All right. But there's something here too about needing to really follow your heart and feel alive, I feel like in cases where you take the risk and you take the leap, somebody is really going to feel ghosted in this situation. That's what I got. All right. Somebody is going to feel really ghosted, and they're going to feel like ripped off and like they got really used in this situation. And I don't think it's going to be the cleanest break where you're heading towards something new out of an already established relationship. All right. But for those that speaks to, I think I have to say you may be 50-50 about it right now, but I think most of you will opt for the more risky option. I have to say it's what's coming through. And then we got eternal love in the reverse. All right. I think this is coming through as a cautionary warning for you. All right. Don't go and screw up a good thing for what just seems tempting in the moment, because if you do, you may really find that you regret that in the end. And yet it's interesting. I pick up this really interesting energy coming through Taurus where it's like, well, at least I did it my way. And so this might just be part of your growth process. It might be something that you just need to do. You just need to do it for you, just to feel alive again. And maybe it does mess something up, but I feel like most of you are going to take the risk. I wish you luck on that, ma'am. I do. Really do. Blessings.